I've had a few Teslas over the last few years, and there are a lot of things I wish someone told me before I bought one. So I made my own list of 16 of those things, some great and some not so much. But if you're thinking about buying a Tesla or already have one, I hope this video can save you some time, money, or at least a little confusion. Let's get into it. Number 1, yes, you need to buy a charger or have some sort of at-home charging set up, but you can use any outlet. You can get the Tesla mobile connector and use a normal 120 volt outlet to charge your Tesla, which is the same outlet that you would charge your iPhone on. It's a slower charge, but if you drive like the average person, if you have access to a normal outlet like this to use overnight, you'll have more than enough range for your daily driving. Now that we have 2 Teslas, we actually found that we have this outlet in our garage, which is called a 620 outlet. Now, I don't know much about electrical stuff, but I just saw this winky face looking outlet in our garage. But upon further investigation, I found that this outlet delivers a slightly faster charge. But you should know that Tesla has a bunch of adapters for a bunch of different outlets on their website, and you can see how fast each of them are. Number 2, road trips are not only possible, but they're actually easier than in a gas car. Now note, I said easier, not faster, but I would also argue they can be just as fast as well. Now, if you want to get from point A to point B as fast as possible, of course, gas will always win. But if you road trip like a normal person with a normal bladder, with a normal appetite, they'd be similar to a gas car. Because when you stop at a supercharger, by the time you grab a snack or use the restroom, the car would already have enough charge and be ready to go to continue your trip. But the main reason it's much easier in a Tesla is because it can just drive itself. So driver fatigue, especially on those long road trips, isn't really a thing. Number 3, Teslas, even the slower ones, are faster than you think. The acceleration is incredible. When you push the pedal, there is absolutely no delay. You instantly go faster. Even cars that have a faster 0 to 60, the Tesla usually pulls ahead the first second or two because the initial acceleration in the Tesla is crazy. Number 4, supercharging is not cheap, at least not anymore. It kind of used to be. A few years ago on our road trips, we were spending like maybe half the price of gas at superchargers. Nowadays, I would say it's more roughly like 2/3 the price of gas, which is still cheaper, but not as cheap as it used to be. Now, don't get me wrong, you still save a lot of money with charging, but the real savings come from at-home charging. Home charging is still significantly cheaper and far more convenient than having to go to a gas station. Number 5, Sentry Mode is amazing, and it might just be your favorite feature. Sentry Mode is a feature that records everything around you from all your car's cameras while your car is parked. And I can promise you, if you do unfortunately get door dinged, it absolutely will be your favorite feature. So if somebody door dings you or something hits your car, you'll have it right there on camera. Or if someone backs into you and drives away without leaving a note, this is my real footage, by the way. This was not a fun time, but you will have it on camera recorded so you can get their plate hopefully and handle it accordingly. Number 6, some accessories are true accessories, but some accessories are things that are just missing from the car. For example, the center console has a ton of storage space, but honestly, it's like a black hole for coins and chapstick. You're gonna wanna get some sort of tray or organizer because small things will for sure get lost. And if you care about the cleanliness of your car even a little bit, you're going to want to get all-weather formats or at least something better than the cheap carpet formats that Teslas come with. And if you care about protecting your screen, which is arguably the most important part in your car, you're probably going to want a screen protector. On my very first Model 3, I actually had a crack in my screen protector. I'm not sure how it happened. I'm not sure if the screen would have cracked itself without the protector, but I will say for 20 bucks, I'm glad I didn't have to find out. Number 7, your Tesla will honestly never really feel outdated. Tesla constantly rolls out software updates every few weeks. Some updates improve on existing features and some updates add new features entirely. And when they do this, every Tesla in the Tesla fleet gets these updates. For example, like Sentry Mode, your future favorite feature, Teslas didn't always have that. It was once a part of a software update a couple years ago, and now every Tesla just comes with Sentry Mode. Number 8, Teslas and EVs are not the same thing. I can really go into a bunch of details, but honestly, just the technology, the ease of use, the supercharger network, Teslas are in a league of their own. You'll get some questions from friends or family about other EVs that they'll assume you know the answer to because you drive a Tesla, but this is just not the case. Or maybe at least for me, I often say I may be a Tesla guy. I like to think I know a little bit about these cars, but I am definitely not a car guy. And that is also despite my name, of course. Now, number 9, Tesla insurance can actually save you a lot of money, but it can also cost you a lot of headaches. Insurance gets a pretty bad rep for being way too expensive for Teslas. Honestly, if you just shop around and if you don't have a terrible driving record, this isn't really the case. In fact, if you live in a state where Tesla insurance is available, this is usually by far the cheapest way to insure your Tesla. But be warned, their service is not great. Everything is done from the app, which sounds great, but if you ever get in a situation where you need to use the insurance and talk to a person, good luck with that. Number 10, especially for those who don't have a Tesla yet, Autopilot and full self-driving are two different things. Autopilot is free, it comes standard on every Tesla. This is meant for your highway driving. It will keep you in your lane, it'll keep you a certain distance from the car in front of you, and you can set whatever speed you want your car to drive at. Now, full self-driving, on the other hand, is a paid upgrade. Right now, it costs $99 a month, and this will do all of your driving for you. It will change lanes, it'll stop at stop signs and stoplights, do roundabouts, make turns, and all that fancy stuff. But that kind of brings me to my next point, and that is that full self-driving isn't technically full self-driving, although we're very close, but it's probably much better than you think. I feel like the news and the media do a very good job of magnifying every full self-driving incident and making it look like it's terrible. I have used it intermittently over the last few years. I have it now, and I could confidently say it has gotten a lot better. In fact, the unsupervised version of full self-driving is being rolled out like right now as we speak, at least in Austin, Texas. We'll see where it goes from here. But unsupervised, meaning that you don't have to pay attention. The car will drive itself and you can just sit back, relax, and read a book if you want to, or be on your phone, or whatever. Which may sound crazy, but again, as somebody who uses it right now, I can say for the first time in a while, I actually see the vision and I feel like we're right around the corner from that being reality. Now, number 12, even here in 2025, some people will treat you like you drive a Lamborghini. It's become a lot less common nowadays, but still, in areas where Teslas aren't very popular, some people still think these things cost north of like $100,000. I remember when I first got my Tesla Model 3 in 2022, right after I graduated from physical therapy school, I took it on a road trip back to Chicago, and I had some friends and family thought that my new grad PT job was paying very, very well. Number 13, extreme weather, whether it be very hot or very cold, does impact your Tesla's range quite a bit. It's made us think twice about taking another winter road trip, but honestly, it's not that bad. In cold weather, you'll just have to stop to charge a little extra. In really hot weather, your charge might be a little bit slower if the supercharger gets too hot. But either way, in extreme weather, you lose some range because your Tesla has to work harder to maintain the battery temperatures so it's not too hot or too cold. And I will say from our personal experience, we took a Vegas to Chicago road trip in the spring during normal weather and during a winter freeze watch where it was like below zero the entire time, and the spring trip was noticeably faster. Number 14, you're gonna get a lot of stupid questions and you'll become like an unpaid spokesperson for Tesla. For example, when I first got my Model 3, my mom actually asked me how I would drive when it rains. But I will say my biggest pet peeve to this day is when people try to argue with me and tell me going to a gas station is better because it's faster. Some people just don't understand. I can plug in my Tesla overnight in my garage. It takes seconds for me to grab the charger and plug it in my car. And I think that they think that I just like sit there and wait for it to charge for hours. Like if you plug in your iPhone, you don't just like sit and stare at it. You just go like do things and live your life. And it's the same thing with the Tesla. Number 15, you will appreciate the regenerative braking much more than you probably think. The regen braking, if you don't know, when you let your foot off the accelerator, the car slows down quite a bit more than what you're used to. And this actually sends energy back into the battery to make your Tesla more efficient, but it decelerates so much that it feels like your car is braking, which once you get used to, you'll barely ever have to touch the brake pedal, and this is Tesla's one pedal driving. It's awesome. Honestly, when I go back to driving a gas car from time to time, I feel like I'm abusing the brake pedal. And lastly, number 16, other cars will almost be ruined for you. You might look dumb trying to get back to a gas car for the first time in a while. Like for example, I forgot about keys. I had to put them in and turn to start it. And I forgot that I had to touch the brake pedal for the car to slow down at all. I mean, you'll pick it back up very quickly, of course, but between your phone being your key, being able to control your Tesla from the app, and everything else that comes with owning a Tesla, going back to a gas car just feels ancient. So that's my list of 16 things that I didn't know or fully realize before buying my first Tesla. If this helped you, great. I'm glad to help. You can subscribe. If it didn't help you, I don't know, just yell at me in the comments or something. But anyways, thank you all. Oh, frick. Thank you for watching. I will catch you in the next one.